FM, that's what you're listening to, and you could watch this segment on YouTube at VOP 903 FM, where we're streaming what we're doing here on radio, so you can get to catch up while you're watching on YouTube. I have with me right now the CEO of Select Initiative, the convener of Select Initiatives, one of the three who will be with us on the program today. But Select, as usual, is here first, and we're starting off. And he's an ambassador against drug abuse. He works around the clock. He doesn't stop because he believes it's a major thing to tackle. I'm talking about Ambassador Sonny Irakpo, our guest today on VOP.
Voice of the people, VOP 90 points.
All right. Okay, that's a little glitch there. Okay, so all right. Thank you very much, Sonny Irakpo, for joining us today.
Yes, please. Thank you, Lady C. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity once again.
Yeah, great to have you, and thank you for your time. All right. The last time we had a session, we talked about the issue of drugs and how it had been spreading. It was a very brief session. Since that time, we spoke some months back till today. What's been going on?
Well, a lot is going on. I must tell you that the society is heading towards a direction that is not pleasant. And when the likes of the young people supposed to man industries, young people supposed to be developing a progressive agenda in order for the society to move forward, if they are going into drugs, it's something that every one of us should worry about. And for me in particular, I'm very, very worried because it's getting the entrance, the barrier to entrance into these drugs are low. It's everywhere in the streets. As I speak to you, a lot of young guys, they feel, hey, this is the wave of the moment. And I think it is a wrong concept that some of us are trying to change their mentality. That if we must be useful to ourselves, nations, we must shun drug abuse. And I must tell you that the situation is increasing. You can also see for yourself, NDLA, every day what they keep, arresting people, drug traffickers here and there. I begin to wonder what is actually going on in this country. Is it that our advocacy is not really touching base? Is it that the NDLA is not really, getting the vibes? They're not doing what they're supposed to do. So a lot of, proliferation of drugs in the streets. So it's worrisome to me, and we need to jar up our efforts in making sure that Nigeria remain a sane society.
Do you think it's a case of, as we've now come to know it, hardship that is pushing people into the use of drugs to help maybe numb their senses, their feelings about what's going on? Or if it be therefore that maybe it's because of the hardship they are going into this to help them cope? If things hard as it be, where do they get the money for this? Are the drugs as cheap?
Well, the truth is the drugs are not cheap. We cannot say it's hardship. There are different factors that are responsible for drug abuse. Okay, we can talk about unemployment. Unemployment is a case. We look at the social pathologies, which you've mentioned. We look at the economic stress, the psychological, emotional stress, and all that people are passing through. Particularly now that the economy is biting hard on people. So a lot of people are just looking for escape routes. Hey, how will I survive? How will I pay the bills? How will I pay my students' school fees? What am I going to eat? They wake up every day. They don't even know what they are going to eat. So this kind of situation is biting hard daily on the lives of Nigerians. And some people that the willpower is weak, they cannot, curtail themselves. That they have to look for an escape route. Then am I going to die in this situation? So that is why a lot of them, they fall back to drugs and say, let me take drugs after I've graduated from the university for a number of years, no job for me to do. And because of the social media too, the pressure from the social media, they see some of their friends, they think they are doing well more than them. So why is my life like this? So there are different factors that is pushing people, particularly young people, into doing drugs. We also talk about the peer pressure. We look at the before you belong to a circle of friends, hey, people, some of them what they understand is drugs. Because of they want to belong to those class, And at the end of the day, because of the genetic vulnerability of us as human beings, our body is wired differently. What is good for the good might not be good. What is good for me might not be good for you. And many of them, they don't understand this aspect of life. And that is why we are saying that yes, the economic pressure is there, but it's not enough for you to say because of the economic pressure. Let me soak myself with drugs because of even the health implication of what they are doing. Have you considered the health implications that is going to, because like what I said before, for every $1 you spend in drug abuse, you are going to spend $10 for treatment. That is to say, times 10 of whatever you have taken, to be treating yourself later. So why must you go in that route when you know that it's not going to go for your head? So when you look at the economy itself, Nigerians are passing through a lot. But it's not enough for we to go into drugs. We need to build a shock absorber. What are the shock absorber? We need to see that there is more to life. We need to mingle with the right people. We need to accept that we are created to do greater things. So no matter the situations of life, we must be focused. So drug abuse should not be a distraction. And that is one of the message I'm putting across to young people today, that no matter the situation of this country, we must be focused.
Yes, we must be focused. If we're not focused, we're not able to fight any fight successfully. You mentioned one other thing I had said at the beginning of the program before you joined, that you now find people committing suicide as driven by drugs. Like over the weekend, there was a report of a man who had run into a river, and it said that he was under the influence of a substance. Have we seen such cases maybe increasing, or do such cases truly exist where people take their lives as a result of the use of psychotropic substances?
Definitely, even in Lekki area that we live here, we see some persons who want to kill, who climb and they say we want to end their life. We see some that want to jump into the lagoon. So these things exist, they really exist, okay? Because what drug does is that it takes away your natural process of reasoning. Okay? The way you reason naturally, the way God has wired you to reason naturally, it takes it away. A drug addict can even kill somebody now, and you will know that he has killed somebody. That is how it works. So when you look at people that are running into depression, once they run into depression, they think, hey, going into drugs is the escape route. But they do know that drug is going to increase the risk factor of causing pains to their lives and to their families. So if you check today, drug is responsible for the suicide that we are seeing today. And as you rightly mentioned, once you take drug, it alters your natural process of reasoning. It gives you false confidence. That is why you see some of these guys on the garage, they jump into in front of a vehicle that is moving. They think is a bicycle that is coming. That is what it does. So once you take those drugs, it triggers, it takes away that natural process of reasoning. You can even, we've had a story of students from 3-story building. The guy, he jumped down from 3-story building after taking drugs. So that is what is happening. This is a university student we are talking about here.
He died.
So yes, he died. He jumped from 3-story building. He thought he's just walking on a floor. So that is what it does. It triggers, it alters the natural way of reasoning and gives false confidence to those individuals to exhibit. That is why you see, even in the lives of young people, the level of disrespect is high now. Are you aware? The level of disrespect is high. You see a boy, when we were growing up, let me tell you, when we see our elders, we greet them. You see these young people, they pass through elderly one, they see that they commonize them. That is the effect of drugs. And we're not even talking about the bipolar disorder, what we call the bipolar disorder. The bipolar disorder is extreme mood change of young people. That is why the society is going to suffer. Do you know why? Because a lot of zombie that will be producing will be more. Bipolar disorder is extreme mood change. Either you see the young person is active in the next hour is weak as dodo. That is the effect that drug abuse is producing presently as we speak.
In
So
some
I
parts of the
think
US, Sonny, in some parts of the US, I'm sure the time you went there for the program you went to, you heard them talking about some drugs that these young people or even older people, it's not just young people now, when they're done with it, it zombifies them. They just stand in one place like zombies. They could bend over, just standing as if they're in a trance. Is that
that
happening
is
now in
that,
Nigeria?
yes, yes, that is what we call the bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is crippling very rapidly into our homes. Parents don't know this. When your child is going maybe give is secluding himself, he doesn't want to associate with people. That is a sign of bipolar disorder. When a child you talk to him and the next minute is very vehement, he's giving it to you. Daddy, who are you? He's talking to you bad. Those things they are called bipolar disorder.
Wait,
It's
are
the
you saying
extreme
the
of-
wait, Sonny, sorry, please. Are you saying
Yeah.
the drugs are now pushing a lot of young people to start experiencing this, or how are you describing this now?
Yes, once you take these drugs, okay, I'm just giving you the effects.
Gives you double
What society,
personality.
yes, what's the effects of this drug we are talking about? When you take it excessively, you begin to experience this bipolar disorder. The bipolar disorder that I've spoken about is the extreme mood change of young people. That is to say, you just mentioned zombie-like states. Okay, they begin to exhibit zombie-like state. A guy or your son or your daughter that was smart before doing things smartly, you notice that hey, this guy is becoming too slow. He's not active the way he should. So when you observe those kind of factors or signs, you should know that drug is the effect that is obvious on the lives of that individual. So I'm saying that yes, it happens in the US and it's also happening in Nigeria as we speak. Come to our streets. When you hear languages such as Sholoja, do you know what they're saying? Sholoja, Sholoja, Sholoja. That is to say, do you have market? Which market you bring come? Oja, Wolodewa. These are street languages that you think, oh, they are just, that is a Yoruba language, okay? That when you go to the market, oh, which market do you have? Which market do you bring? These are the languages. So the ordinary person, you might not fathom what they are talking
You
about.
think they're
So
talking about normal transactions?
yes, normal transaction. They are the essence. What they are trying to point out is that what kind of drugs did you bring? So I'm advocating using your platform to let people know that the kind of drugs young people are taking, the effect is going to be very destructive in our society, starting from the home front. Because if the home front is not good, the society will not be better.
Is it a case of getting worse in quotes by I mean every year it's like it's getting worse? Each generation seems to be having its own wrong end of of the stick. Is that what is going on? Is it getting worse
Yes,
by the generations?
exactly. Before, when we grew up, persons that were smoking marijuana, when you see them, you understand, it is just marijuana. In fact, they will hide in smoking it. At that time, when we are growing up, that is how we grew up. But now, those who have been taking marijuana now, because of the effect of those drugs in the lives of those individuals, they feel that hey, the marijuana is no longer potent, is no longer active in their system. So they need to begin to add a lot of chemical substances that will give them a different feeling from the marijuana. As I speak with you, there is one they call combine. Combine it contains marijuana, it contains every other substances. They mix it together and take it so that they can experience more high. So the more you take drugs, the more you move from one drug to another. So as we speak today, we have also seen, I don't want to mention some things on air. We have also seen how young people are going to the extent of digging some things, bringing them together, taking, oh my goodness. I am so pained that I'm watching a vibrant generation going in the other way. A generation that should be very, very passionate about fulfilling destiny. They are going the other way around. So when you talk about chemical mixture, we call it poly drugs. You know, when you talk about poly drugs, it is increasing because the drug you took yesterday might not be effective, we might not be able to give you the feeling that you got yesterday. So they need to increase that feeling. And that is why you see a lot of experimentation that is happening today. You see it today, you hear Colorado, tomorrow you hear this, today you hear combine, the next day you hear marijuana, today you hear our painkillers also. They are mixing a lot of things today just to get high. But we are calling on young people that whatever action, our people say that habit is easy to form, but hardly to break. And this is the state in which our young people have found themselves. They think it's just an habit, but today it is very hard to break.
You know, Ambassador, at a point, for people who are asthmatic, they were beginning to have problems because these young people or people who are addicted to these things started using the inhaler for highs. And it was worrisome because it was not making it kind of stress. And even one of the best medicines that we could use then for cough became like contraband because we were buying loads of them and mixing with God knows what and using them for, in quote, highment. Have you ever bothered, therefore, to find out from those you've been counseling, the schools you found they are hanging out in and all that, why they think they need to be high? Ever bother to ask?
Yes, like as I've told you, there are lots of factors that are responsible for this. Let me paint a scenario for you. A first class graduate who is brilliant, what does he need high for? Just to read book. At the end of the day, I've seen a lot of them, they're on the streets. When you look at the issue of getting high, it's just what I've mentioned before, peer pressure. It has a lot to do. Some of them just say, guy, take this thing. If now 1 hour you they read, if you take this thing, you can read 3 hours on the spot. You understand me? They paint those pictures to them, but without considering the negative effects of what they're introducing to them. And I've mentioned in this show that because of the genetic vulnerability, our body chemistry differs. What is good for me might not be good for you. If you are taking marijuana and you go free, maybe your friend, if you take it for once, he might be hooked. Something danger might happen to him. So if you look at the scenario, the way it's played today, peer pressure has a lot to do with it. And we also look at lack of confidence. And a lot of these young people, they lack confidence. They want to exhibit the identity which they are not, that is not of them. So how did they belong? How can I become or belong to this class? It's not pushing a lot of them in doing into this, in going into taking drugs. Let me also give you another instance. There is one drug today that young people are taking, especially these underworld boys. Overnight, they will take it and sleep will vanish from their eyes because they are doing whatever they are doing. You understand me? Now, what is the consequence of all these actions? You know, scientists say our body requires 8 to 9 hours for which to relax. And some persons are depriving themselves, taking some of these substances, because they want to, undo somebody. And at the end of the day, we have also had news of young guys who just slump and died. Yeah. Of young guys, before we know, say this guy, headache. That is how some of them, left this world. So what are we talking about? There is a lot that is going on as we speak. So when you talk about peer pressure is a factor that is responsible, we also look at the materialistic consciousness of young people. Young people now, they just want to make money at all costs without going through due process. So when you look at all these factors, there are factors that we also consider that are responsible for drug abuse in our society.
Sonny, most times when we talk about drug abuse and all that, a lot of the people will just be talking about or thinking about the young people. I remember when I was starting this particular program, I talked about the fact that it's not just about young people. Even more than young people also go into this drug issues. I talked about a man who had taken his own life based on the fact that he must have been high. And then there is the states up north. They're saying, you know what, before you take on any political office and all that, you need to how do I say it? You need to go for a drug test. This now
Yeah.
even amongst the politicians. So is it just a young people thing, or you're seeing more of the young people because you work with the young people?
Well, if you look at according to the United Nations, well, based on the statistics that they submitted as of 2018, we've not had a recent one though. So we've been working with that statistics that from age 19 to 38, then to 65 are the worst user of this drug. So for young people, you look at from age 19 to 38. Then they also say, hey, age 65 are also engaged in taking these drugs. Now, let me shock you recently. NDLA raised an alarm that even from the northern part of this country, 2 million women are now taking syrups, cough syrups, abusing drugs on
Two
a daily
million
basis.
women. 2 million women.
Yes, on a daily basis. In Kano alone, they are abusing drugs. That tells you that it is not just for young people. Okay,
Yeah.
young people are deeply involved, but it's also the older generation are also engaged in it. While we are worried about young people, the energies that we have from age 18 to 40, that is when every young man should be able to think and right to say, okay, let me put my life in the right perspective. Abi, that is how we're worried. So somebody is age 65 is not going to take drugs. That simply means the most productive aspect of his or her life, he has lived it. Abi? So we as young people, we must not model our lives to those kind of age brackets. So for me, I am concerned about the young people because I know if there is any transformational change that should occur in this country, in this part of the world, it must start from the young people. Whatever troubles, issues that we are having today, they emanated from young people. If you talk about the insecurity today, if you talk about criminality today, it's coming from the young people. So that is why I'm saying that, hey, if we can change the mindset of young people, a lot of things is going to fall in place. We need to orientate and reorientate this demography because their energy has a lot to do with the development of the country. So if you look at what is happening, both the young and the old are going into this thing. Come to our street. Maybe one day I will invite you. Let me give you what happened on one of my on my community visit. Sometimes I just dress casually. I enter into the community to begin to know, hey, what is going on. Lady, say, do you know what I find out? If you see some of these pretty ladies that you see some of them on the streets using these expensive cars, what they are doing, you will shed tears. You know that even the home front tomorrow will suffer because even those who are supposed to be the homemakers, what they are doing presently, you will shed tears. What did I find out? This is how I saw a place where some of these gurus in these things, they now began to recruit these young ones. They will recruit them and be giving them these things. I was watching, and this girl was, take it now, you just take it. That is how you start. And I was taking it.
Was cajoling the other person.
Yes, cajoling the person to take it. That is how you start. You cannot enter this kind of thing, you cannot do it too. And I was just watching and say, God, look at this pretty lady. And if this lady is walking on the street, you would think she's a novice. And that is the state we are. And I also told in one of my seminars that some of these ladies, they know, you know what the underworld boys they call them? He said they are dying corpse.
They are dying corpse. That is their dead body.
They are living corpse. Sorry, they are living corpse. In other words, they are alive, but they are dead. Do you know why? Because most of them, they drug them. Once they invite them, they drug them, and they play with their whatever they want to do, and they take some vitals from them. They take their destiny from them. And what happened? This individual, pretty lady, sometimes you wonder why this pretty lady has not gotten himself or fixed himself up. These are some of the factors that are responsible.
Okay, hold on, Sonny, just hold on a while. But finish that your line. A lot of them, you were saying a lot of them.
Yes, a lot of them are walking on the street as a result of this that has happened to them unknowingly to them because of what? Because of the rap materialistic consciousness that I mentioned earlier. So our young people must understand that we need to be in the right frame of mind to make things happen, not by drugs.
Okay, I was trying to fix my guys in the studio because they're here with me. And while you were talking, the commander was just saying, I'm talking about commander of the Community Anti-Drug Abuse Advocacy Initiative, CADA. He is here with us, and we'll be talking about this thing, Chief Superintendent Roy Ifeka. I got that right. You were just shaking your head. And I also have with me DSP Ibiyemi Olatubonsi. You didn't hear a lot of that because you didn't have a head can on, but you can catch up now. Sonny Irakpo is on the line. Silek, I don't know if you know him. Yes, Irakpo. No, you know Silek, Abi. So Silek has been an ambassador. He's been doing this thing with the people trying to canvass for safe, not safe users, for don't use drugs. He goes to secondary schools. Do you understand? I'm sure you guys will do all the work you need to do. Now, you were shaking your heads when he said that the young girls are being referred to as dead body, living dead. Please carry on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Walking.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, yes. While I was shaking my head is because basically a corpse cannot respond to whatever you are doing to the body. All right. So that is the situation of our young girls today. That is why it looks like they are helpless.
Some of them, huh?
Yes, some of them looks like they are helpless. So if you have injected somebody of that age and she's as good as lifeless because something else has taken over, something else is influencing, something else is controlling. So they can do both whatever they wish and whatever they desire, and that will be all. So that was why I was nodding my head that yes, I was affirming to what he was saying, that he's absolutely correct.
Now, you guys have been into this. Tell me a bit about the Community Anti-Drug Abuse Advocacy Initiative. CADAI, right?
Yes, CADAI.
Yeah.
Yes, CADAI is an organization that exists to complement the effort of NDLA through advocacy, counseling, and educating of the youths on the dangers that is inherent in drug abuse. We understand that in as much as the NDLA, they are trying to do what they can do, but we understand that security is not for just an individual thing, and it's not just for just one organization alone. You know, if we look at the increment of what we are experiencing today, you will agree with me, NDLA cannot do the job alone. They cannot do the job alone, and that is where CADAI comes in, to see how we can also complement the effort of NDLA to eradicate this menace in our society. Like this year, when we're marking the Drug International Day, the NDLA were on ground in our meetings, and in fact, they were impressed with the results that we're reading out to them, and pictures and videos of young people that CADAI has helped to come out of this menace. And that is why CADAI exists.
DSP, how do you go about this helping? All right, let's start from how did you guys come about this organization?
All right, thank you. CADAI, the headquarters is in Abuja. So
Secretariat.
It's in Abuja, and for a few years ago, we started, about 4 years now, we started in Lagos State.
Is it part of the police?
We are working hand in hand with the police.
Because I see DSP.
Yes. We are patterned after the police.
Aha.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, ever since then, we've been moving from community to community, just as the commander said, and we've been putting much effort to see, because one of our goals, our cardinal points, is to sensitize, to create awareness, and to rehabilitate. So as we go into community, we move through their high chiefs, community leaders, even the youth, and we get them informed about the dangers involved in taking illicit drugs and harmful substances. And ever since, we've been recording success. We've seen a lot of people coming out. You know, at times, there are people, they are having this issue, but they just need somebody to show them love. They just need somebody that they can really come out openly and express themselves to. So many at times, you know, the way the family, some of them, the family treats them. We had a case of a young guy that's a graduate of mechanical engineering, if I'm right. And this guy, very intelligent, highly intelligent. And somehow he was in school, he was a young student, and he got into drugs. And at a point, he was taking home, everything was upside down. And the parents have been moving here and there, taskets are looking for solutions. They've gone to some spiritual houses, a lot of places. They've spent a lot. In fact, the way they were, you will see that they were helpless. It was in one of our sensitization in a local government that the mother came out openly to approach us. And she was like, if you people can help me, my son, I don't know, I've been moving here and anything anybody says, I'm ready to do. He's just the only son I have. And I can't just, watch him in this way. So at a point, we met with this guy. We noticed that, the guy himself is willing to come out. He's really willing to come out of it.
And that helps.
Yes, it felt, helpless. Even talking to him, he kept on saying, if you people should pray for me, like my family, they just tie me down like I'm an animal.
But how is he now?
Then, that was then.
No, how is he now?
He's doing better now.
You guys had some form of rehabilitation.
Yes, he's doing better now. If we the family, they are they are testifying to it that he's doing better. We try to create friendship with him. Yes, I think that is the starting point. Some of them, they just need somebody that would understand them. So we create that time, and from there we pick it up, and we started a rehabilitation program and all that, and it's really responding.
Sonny, the communities themselves, because we have our guys from the Community Anti-Drug Abuse Advocacy Initiative, KADAI. I don't know if you've worked with them before.
No, I've not worked with them. I've been working with MDLA for 14 years now.
Yes, for 14 years. You guys, I'm sure, will connect and can do and work more because, as you said, you need more advocacy done. And they just talked about rehabilitation and the communities, what the communities usually could do to help, and traditional rulers. All the communities you've been to, Select. How are the traditional rulers reacting to this? What are they doing to help? I'll also come to you with that question, Select.
The truth is, even at the community level, they are overwhelmed with the situation. See, there is nothing. Once you don't have the resources, sometimes to make things happen, you are limited. A lot of these individuals, they are limited. The only way the community can be more effective is when they come together. All right. The community head alone, he might have the initiative, but once the resources this sensitization must be a continuous thing. It's not a one-off thing. So many of them, they lack the support too in terms of finance to carry out this community engagement. Then on the lives of the young individuals too, the responsiveness, they say, what am I just going to hear this word at the end of the day? Nothing to show. Am I going to just listen to this for tomorrow? Now, no work for me to do. You understand me? They just tell you, now play, they play. So all this kind of stuff is existing in the community. So if we must make the community safer, there is a need for the advocacy to also trickle down. The NDLA, we need resources. The greatest resource that we have are these young people, and we need the financial resources to remodel their lives. Because you see, the issue of drugs has no regards for gender. It has no regards for anybody. Once you go into it, you are hooked on it. So at the community level, we need to form more strong collaboration. Thank God, we are going to, your guests in the studio, we are going to see how we can work together to ensure that we constantly put this message out there so that young people can know that there's more to life than to do drugs.
You just heard Select there, and the fact that communities, and I said that I'll come to you too.
Yes.
What has it been like from the communities, the members of the communities, to the leaders of the communities?
In fact, Madam Kodia, I must say I'm excited to be here. I've been listening to you, and I'm glad I'm meeting you in person.
Thank you.
You've been wonderful. you've been wonderful, honestly. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And I'm really, really happy meeting
Select
on this show today. I'm super excited. And I must confess, he's really speaking as one indeed who is experienced in what we are talking about.
14 years old.
So it's not a child's play. All right. Now, speaking of community traditional rulers, in fact, the word he used was best suitable for that description. They are overwhelmed. Every traditional rulers we have met, they open their both hands to receive us. In fact, there's a place we have a rehabilitation center we are working on. That land was given to us by the traditional ruler. The Ballet of Imude community is in Ojo under IBA LCDA. It's under Okawori LCDA. All right.
Where is that?
Yes.
Towards Badagry?
Towards Badagry. Thank you very much.
So now, I heard that worry. Now me come up.
You know, the bottom line is they have really been giving their support, because even them themselves, they understand that their security is not guaranteed, because it is opined that the breeding ground of all crime today in our society is traceable to drugs.
Yeah.
All right. So if every individual that has the ability or is in position to be of help to partner, is of a great thing, because most of the time when we are done doing some of these works with these young ones, they are having expectation also, because some of them there are a lot of issues that led them into it. So if at the end of the day you now have a listening ear to them, and you are not able to resolve what they are sharing with you, then you just discover that it's like your effort is wasted.
Like pouring water in a basket.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So at the moment, we are partnering currently with the Ojo local government in that axis. We are partnering with the IBA LCDA, the Ottawa Warriors. In fact, we had meeting with the executive chairman. We had meeting with them, and we have shown in our proposal, and there is a need for that, because if you look at towards that direction, there is nothing like that rehabilitation center, nothing like that. And the numbers is increasing every day.
And people really don't want to go to the psychiatric
Thank you very
hospital.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So
Even though they don't nearly craze. It's true now.
like the DSP said, we now transfer more of the responsibility to the pastors when we know this is not spiritual. This is not spiritual. This is drugs at work, making a lot of people acting abnormal. And so because we are now spiritualizing everything, when I say, oh, village people don't start, excuse me, ma, this is not village people. This is drugs in action.
And village people feel push first to take drug.
Well, you are correct. You are correct. You are correct. You are correct. But we must not also forget that we have our own power of choice.
Yes.
Just like you will say in VOP, all right? That in as much as we have the ability to speak freely, we must not forget that it comes with responsibility.
Like you can speak freely. Waiting to happen after the freely, I don't know.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
You see, this thing you just said is a major thing that could be tried. See, like you can hear me, right? It's something that could be tried. I mean, we could try. You referred to the religious leaders, the fact that they are beginning to make it look like, oh, spiritual. Some of them do not know. They do not even know what to watch out for. Do you think, DSP, that it should be something? I know Select does it sometimes in churches and so on, to talk to them, to let them know what is and what shouldn't be. DSP, do you think it's time that NDLEA working with you guys should also bring these religious leaders, be they from Christianity, from Islam, from traditional, whatever, to come to say some of these things? No, not be villagers. See what is causing it, and this is what you do when it's like this. Do you think that's something that should be considered deeply if it is being done or done more?
Yes, thank you. I believe it's something that should be considered. Yes, should be considered deeply, because when you talk of the issue of drug abuse, is a thing that it require collective effort. Every parastatal, every individual should come forth and see to do everything possible to curb this drug abuse. So the religious settings, they are not left out, and they should also be carried along. As you said, some of them don't really know what to watch out for, but they can be, through seminars, workshop, and the rest, they can be well informed. They need to be informed for signs, for things to watch out for, such that they would not mistake something that is just drug to be something spiritual in quotes. It could be, but at the same time, there are things to watch out for. There are things that if they can curb those things, it would solve the problem. Some things doesn't require, praying and fasting. Some could just be that it could require, sometimes some things could just be information. Some could be teaching, some could just be to educate them and all that, awareness and the rest. So all the traditional leaders too, the religious setting, they need to come into the knowledge of this drug abuse is something that we should also put in effort to put an end to it. And I know that we can have a drug abuse free environment if we all join hands together to do it.
Still, like you heard the bits, they were talking about some of the things they had done towards Badagry or the local government. And in your area, do you focus more on the Lekki side or even beyond? If yes, what are some of the things that you guys have been able to achieve and where more collaborations will be needed?
Well, I've been doing a lot across Nigeria. As I speak with you, I have a project in Bayelsa, I have a project in Delta, that I'm in Lagos, all right? Let me also add a voice to that of the religious angle while I answer your question. Let me give you a story while we answer this. There was this situation that happened in church. So there was a drug addict in church. So they just say, oh, it is pastor that will pray for him. Let's take him to a pastor. Sometimes you overrate these pastors, okay? So they now bungle the guy. And when the pastors see this guy, they say, what is this guy doing? Yes, the guy they say, hey, call me Select. Where Select? They should call Select for him. You understand me? So sometimes, like what they said, it is not all about spiritualization. There are some things that single therapy can solve, okay? Most of these things are therapeutic when we know how to apply them. And that is that on this spiritual angle. Now, coming to the work that we are doing, see, if we understand the situation that is on our hands, is evolving every day. The drug of yesterday, as we speak with you today, there is a research that is going on that will take them to the next high. So if we must measure our activities or to be relevant with the situation of time, we need to increase our collaborations. Like what they said from the studio, it is not a one-man show. It is not a one-man show. We need all of us to come together. We need all the resources because no family is safe. Let's be firm with ourselves because our children, they either attend public schools or private schools. We've seen in the private schools that some of our children are going, the drugs, when they search their bags, you will be surprised that some of these children, they were hiding drugs in bread just to pass security check.
Wait, bread when you don't tear like this.
Bread when they chop. Yeah? They will hide drug inside, so just beat security checks. I'm just telling you what is happening. I'm not giving you fictitious story. This is the experience that I've had over the years. So if at the community level I've been working a lot, I have a program that is coming up very soon. On the 22nd in Lekki, we are taking a different dimension. We are letting young people know that here it is our problem. It is we that can also solve the problem. How do we solve it? We must call ourselves to order. Do you want to die like this? Don't you think you should be relevant to make your family, yourself proud, or your family and nation proud? No. So our effort is to increase our collaborations. Our effort is to ensure that the message is put out there. As I speak with you, I'm at the community level. Every evening, I enter into the community to know what is happening, to know what drugs these young people are taking. And as I speak with you also, I know what some ladies are doing right now in the issue of drugs. So if you look at what Select is doing, Select is taking the steps in different dimensions. I have different projects that is ongoing. But by the grace of God, with these strong collaborations that we're going to be forging from this interview, is an avenue for we to launch out the more in rescuing the lives of young people from drugs and substances.
Let me quickly read some messages, and if we had more time, maybe I'll be able to take calls, but I don't know about that right now. Maybe we'll have another day. we could fix sometime maybe next week where we can have people call in and just ask questions about things they should watch out for and how they can deal signs and all that. I take your message, Kenny Young from Okoba. I have you here. You're saying this government is not helping at all. We are going through emotional trauma, torture. Things are hard, especially for we who manage one illness or the other. Drugs are expensive. Kenny Young, that's all I can say. Ururu from Ayobo, you're saying we keep calling young people when it comes to drug abuse. What about our politicians and rulers? These men are on drugs, which is why they behave the way they do, and which is why the country is the way it is now. If they are not on drugs, they will have better clue on how to improve the country and not make it worse with their stealing. Aurora from Ayobo, that was your message. I got you. The issue of hard drugs will continue to go high because those who ought to fight against it, like soldiers, police, and security agents, are involved to the point that police people go to their bunks for settlement. So I don't see the fight working out. Is a wow issue. Okay, I missed your message, Maggie from Oshodi. Let me Lady C, I the vex you. I bet no vex. May I read them now? Let me read that your message when I forget for morning and mid morning. Here we go. Good morning, lady, and everyone in the house. Hope you had enough rest over the weekend. Praise God for good health and sound mind. Lady C, I just finished eating rice and pomo. It sweet me die. See groove. Maggie, you know, call me. This is what your rulers have reduced us to. Oh, meanwhile, I say na groove. The pomo the verse you. Sorry. I prayed for them the other day because Sultan of Sokoto said we should pray. But you said that prayer was for my bedroom. Again, no, I told you that prayer different. Oh, even die by fire na prayer. Now what I tell you now, Abi, and you nearly use prayer destroy my line that day. Not be small. Anyway, again, someone prayed today. You said you won't say amen, never. That prayer was very wicked. But you can tell us how they are inflicting pains on us and prefer to tell them we are crying, which gives them joy. It's not fair, oh, sis. It's not balanced, please. The problem is so now prayer, they spoil my microphone and phone. How you they say, oh, now prayer pass die by fire? Hey, Auntie Mike, don't worry. I'll allow you people pray on Thursday. I think Thursday will be prayer day. Please let them also hear our prayers to them, and please, sis, just say amen on their behalf too. Thanks, we loved you. I love you too, sis. With your voice here, you always reassure us there's still hope for us in this country. Have a faithful and fruitful day. My good Debo, I do believe that there is hope for us. Let's not give up, because if we do give up, that's the end of everything. That's the end. You know what I'm talking about. Dear ladies, I agree with you and your guests. In fact, the future of our youth has been totally destroyed by hard drugs. You see some of these youths sleeping while walking on the streets, for real? These are boys our politicians use during elections. Why is it that despite many arrests by NDLA of drug couriers, more and more people are still into these drugs trafficking? Don't you think that some of these politicians may be behind the drug trafficking? Kindly ask your guests to throw more light on this. Thank you, Pascal Chimeze from Ikeja. I'm going to come to that as a final question, but let's quickly finish these messages. Social media, Nigerian musicians especially, are ambassadors and promoters of drug abuse in their lyrics and videos. Is there any music video or song you do hear that isn't talking about drugs? Nigeria is breeding a lot of wasted generation. When the Senate wanted to pass a death sentence bill on illegal drug producers and fake drug manufacturers, a lot of Nigerians cried foul for the head of the Senate. The same people are either drug abusers, sympathizers, or ignorant to the effect that you can't separate drug abuse from crime, criminality, or terrorism. These same people complain about. An example to even tell you how no one is paying attention from the state government, police, or community. You see this aboki at every junction, walking about carrying some bunch of dubious, illegal, unscrupulous, and unfortunate drugs for sale. Unchallenged, no one is checking them. People are buying, swallowing, wasting, and wallowing away to a miserable, wasteful end. Tai, wow, that was from you. A lot to think about there. I'm a researcher who is specialized in researching narcotics use, cultivation, and trafficking in Nigeria. I would like to connect with the NGO, your guests, Right from Surulere, thank you. Right, they're all going to give you their contacts. You please write them down and connect with them. Good morning, Sister C. The drug matter is on the high side. This time, government has to do something fast. The youths are dying, both girls and boys, especially in Gawana State. Almost all the youths are on drug abuse, and it leads them to stealing, yahoo, kidnapping, womanizing, etc. Just name anything bad. Good morning, Anonymous. Kadai should come to Gawana State. Please, it's too much here. I have like 3 or so minutes to wrap this up, so let's quickly do this. Now, you heard some of this. Let's start from you, Select, maybe just drop the details so that the person who wanted to connect with the research and all that, how they can reach out to you, maybe on SM or something, and I'll come back to you. And the bit about politicians maybe using these people. Why are the drug couriers still multiplying? I'll ask you in the studio. Select, you had said something before, so please, your details first before I come back to the studio.
Okay, they can reach out to us on the 080 66 108793.
Say it again.
080 66 108793.
Again, the line broke when you were saying it. Say it again.
080 66 108793.
8793. All right, Select, thanks. So Select had answered this before you guys came in. We have people, why are the couriers still growing? Today they will say Miri or whatever, they caught some here, only over the weekend they caught the one coming from Thailand. Why are they still multiplying?
All right, if you want to deal with any situation, you have to go down to the roots. And somebody made mention that when we're talking about drugs, we only talk about the youth, we don't talk about the politicians and all of that. Trust me, crayfish we don't dry. If you want to amend and break it, break them.
Make we break them. Don't break them. Because they don't break us finish.
And the best time to catch any individual is at a tender age. That is why Kadai also is, throughout this week, we'll be in different schools, primary, secondary, campaigning and creating awareness. So that is the essence. We are channeling our energy on the teenagers, the youths, because we know that these are the people that is being used by this same politician. They're talking about the increase of all of this. Just like I said, if you want to tackle any matter, you have to go down to the roots. It's the saying that you can't fight government. I think I have to select my words at this moment, all right? But the truth of the matter,
I already know what you're saying.
Oh, thank you very much. Somebody made mention of all of these abukis and all of that. Now, these people, they are at every corner. All right. I'm still going to mind my words. There are some that we are even approaching some areas. All right. And at the end of the day, we get to know that they are even settling police to continue what they are saying.
And they have godfathers.
Thank you very much. In fact, there was a time I deployed some of my men to some areas to lock up all those areas because we are working directly with NDLA. And when they are so-called chairman, I was shocked. So you have chairman.
They have
came to our office and said, wow. He said, because they're even settling police, they're even settling, let me mention other and other. I said, okay, this is the end of it. So we got to stop. So somebody asked a question from Surulere. Yes, we have a chapter also on Surulere. I can connect also.
You're going to give us those details. So, Sonny, you heard their response there. Now, the fact that some of these people who are dealing they pay this, they pay that. You see, I can't continue because the news is up. We're going to continue from this point. We'll try and fix the time between now and say Monday or thereabout, and we're going to go deeper about what people should watch out for. That is a deal, right, guys?
Yes, deal.
Yeah. Okay, Sonny, Select, we have to go now. Thank you so much for your time, taking time off your busy schedule for joining us. Take care. All right. And guys in the studio, thank you very much to you and the team. I have with me the guys from Kadai Community Anti-Drug Abuse Advocacy Initiative, and we've had with us Chief Superintendent Roy Ifeka,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And also DSP BME Olatubonsu. Quickly drop a contact or number that you could be reached on before we come back next time to complete this session.
All right, 080-622-19500. That's 080-622-19500. Of course, they can also reach us on all of our social handles. We're on YouTube, Kadai. We are on Instagram, Kadai. Of course, we are also on Facebook, Kadai.
That's
Lagos State Chapter.
CADAAI.
Yes, Lagos Chapter.
Lagos chapter. All right, guys, thank you very much. And to the team that came with you, what's your name? Christian and? Shilokubadio. You be like, who come from Cameroon? I'm from Cameroon. All right, guys, I have to go now. Biodo JDJ, thank you very much for the work you've done. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Cordelia Obey. I'll be seeing you again tomorrow morning. Till then, take care of yourself, stay safe, and please don't give up. Bye-bye.